Some say love takes a heavy load, helps someone make the burden light, teaches you not to hold too tight. You and I have come a long way together. You and I got a long way to go. You don't have to ask me now and never, 'cause I'm already yours and you'll always be mine. Some say love is a fire that grows, bound to hurt when you let it go. Some say love is a choice we make, a holy vow we should never break. And maybe that's just the chance we take. You and I have come a long way together. You and I got a long way to go. You don't have to ask me
What is up, party people? You know I always start this show off by showing love to those companies who help make this podcast possible. First is going to be my friends over at Yellow Jacket. They have a bunch of amazing products to offer, but one of the things that I wanted to throw out here, I saw in the Facebook group HVAC Uncensored Nation, was someone talking about vacuum pumps. And the two that he chose, they're very good pumps. It was the Field Piece and the NavVac. Two great pumps. I won't talk bad about them. But I want to tell you, I think some of you sleep on the Yellow Jacket pumps. I really, really do. So we have this Super Evac Plus 2 that is absolutely an amazing pump. I have used every single pump on here. This YJack 2, if you're looking for something that is budget friendly, is small, compact. It does the job in 95% of residential cases. I'm actually going to be giving one of these away in the near future. The only difference between this Super Evac Plus and the Super Evac is I want to say one is DC and one isn't, and DC voltage. But I'm positive that the 2 is the one that is A2L certified. The other one is going to be the new Bullet. So this actually isn't even it. I'm surprised. The new Bullet is all black. It looks like the Super Evac Plus up here in the corner. Is absolutely an amazing pump. I have one sitting behind me. Some of the guys at work use it, and they love it. We literally have the NavVac. We have the Field Piece. We have the Yellow Jacket. So I'm getting real live feedback from the team that uses it. And I'm love the feedback I'm getting. So a lot of you guys out there, if you're looking for a vacuum pump or anything else for that matter, and Yellow Jacket makes it, all I ask is that you give them a shot. You give them a look, and if they have what you need, by all means, go do it. Support a great company that has products made right here in the US of A. Last but not least, like I always tell you, if you buy a new manifold, I don't care what manifold you buy, it should have Yellow Jacket hoses hooked up to it. Point blank period. They're the best in the business. That's not even a debate. You choose not to buy a Yellow Jacket manifold, hey, that's okay. You buy one of the other guys, that's fine, but have Yellow Jacket hoses hooked up to those. All right? Next is going to be, you know exactly who it's going to be. Guys, it's going to be my friends over at BLUON. Guys, we've been doing some stuff with BLUON that you don't know. We have some episodes that we're doing secretly. I did some stuff with them last night. It was a blast. That will be coming out shortly. You guys will see it. It's a whole side thing that's funny that I think you guys are going to love when you watch it. But guys, I want to talk about what they're doing. We know about the manuals. We know about the tech support, all that kind of stuff that is going on. But in the app, I want you guys to see some of this when it is order parts and truck stock through BLUON, get tech support for your team. Supported techs are productive techs, no cost, just the platform. The average amount of field experience is 28 years. inside of their tech support team. There's some amazing guys who really, really know their shit. If you look at this map, there's 2,000 plus distributors on the BLUON Live network now. Obviously, in the middle, towards the East Coast, it's getting, but they are adding more and more every single day. So if your local supply house is not on the BLUON network, it will be on there soon. I promise you that. You can actually go on here and BLUON.com and search your local distributor, and you can actually see if they are on here. And like I said, Tech finds model number, BLUON determines the part number, Tech finds Tech checks availability, get parts delivered. It is that simple. It is really that simple of a process, and I want you guys to do to realize that and try it. That's all that I say. If your company is okay with you using BLUON, they're okay with you ordering parts through their account, paying the same price that the company normally would, do it. All right? Go pick it up. Have it delivered to the shop. However you guys do it in your company. Obviously, don't get in trouble, but do it. You guys are going to make money for doing your work. I told you about Destiny in our office. She orders parts for us, and she uses BLUON app, and I have access to some other things that you don't. Obviously, I got some perks of BLUON, but she orders on the app, the same one that you guys have access to, and she made $276 in one day just for doing her job. They sent her a thing saying, hey, hope you like BLUON. Here's a little survey. She took it. She clicked the little wheel. It spun around. $250. She came to me and said, hey, Gil, is this real money? I was like, yeah, yes, that is real money. She cashed out, got gift cards, $250 for doing her job. So think about it, all right? With that being said, let's get on to the pledge and let's get on with this show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I'm your host, Gil KV Jr. Here we are, another Wednesday, another hump day, another great show. As always, it's going to be fun, great topics to talk about tonight. I'm glad that I was getting messages from a bunch of you saying that you really enjoyed last week's show. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys could get something out of it. There was no audio podcast out this week because I had to break it up. So the next episode that's going out would be the one with Nate. And it was so long, it had to get split up and something happened. And me getting back and forth with my editor, and he's on the West Coast. So that's what happened. Trying to clean some things up, but it is what it is. But I feel I at least owe you guys an explanation, especially for all of you who listen to it every week. With that being said, man, hello to everybody out here. I see a bunch of people out here. This is awesome, man. To all my moderators that are out there, I appreciate you guys. Rookie, my main man, Mr. Zeke, how are you, brother? Mr. Jason Johnson, what is up, buddy? Brian Sanders. Let's see. I think I saw Chris Miller. I saw Miss Jennifer Manzo in here. What is up, lady? Who was also a moderator. Mr. Jimmy, HVAC teacher. Mr. Steve, everything HVACR. What's up? I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Mr. HVAC blogger, what is up, buddy? How are you? And Mr. Sam. So I think I got everybody. A great show tonight, man. I love this, and it's going to be a great conversation because we always hear, how many times do you have business owners that come on here and talk, and they're like, can't find good people. It's so hard to find good people and all this other stuff. So I think that tonight's episode is going to shed some light onto that, and I'm curious to find out more about it myself. So without further ado, guys, a great guest tonight, Mr. Jeff Bond. He is one of the co-owners of AC Works 365 down there in Texas, as well as another endeavor that he does, which is trade jobs. So rather than me run my mouth, he can come on here and speak for himself. So guys, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Jeff Bond.
What's up, Gil? How are you, man?
Good. How are you, Jeff? Thank you so much for coming on
Good.
tonight, man.
Good. Coming to you live from our guest bedroom. I guess I should have manlied this thing up a little bit before I got on here, but let's go.
Hey, the first year of this podcast was on my back deck. The audio was
Yep.
horrible. Wind
Right.
rolling around like I was in a wind tunnel. But anyway, man, I guess for everybody, before we get into the nitty gritty, if you want to let them know just a little bit about who you are, what you do, and your background.
Sure. So, like you said, I co-own a residential light commercial heating and air conditioning company down here in Texas. My education, though, actually is or my degree is actually in education. I was a high school teacher for 6.5 years in a career technology education program in Arlington. So, really trying to always been kind of involved in the trades, whether it was working on the high school side of it, helping to make sure that kids were um, looking to get some sort of certification, thought about trade schools, whatever that may be. Got out of that and ended up getting recruited to be the general manager of an HVAC company. A couple of years later, had the opportunity with a business partner to buy it. So we've owned it since started the process in 2018, closed the deal in 2019, and we're over here on the west side of the DFW Metroplex, 90% residential, about 10% commercial, primarily. Kind of system service and replacement model, right? Call us if it's broke, we'll fix it. If not, we'll put a plan together to replace it. That's kind of the way we work our business. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Cool. I'm curious because we're kind of similar. The same kind of business model. Do you guys have true or do you do like the tech turnover kind of lead style? Just me asking, going off track,
Yeah.
going off, or do you have like legitimate sales guys?
So we have always had just the legitimate sales side. Service tech goes out, does the work. If a change out or a sale needs to be made, they call into the office. Sales guy makes an appointment and goes out. This is actually the first year that we've tried to enable our guys to in the field being able to educate the homeowner. We did that through being able to do some pre-built proposals for them, right? So they can go in. If the system is dead or replacement is needed or that conversation comes up, they are able right there in the field to take their iPad, pull up, bring up their kind of good, better, best options, explain them to the homeowner with no pressure, just letting them know what's available. And then if they would like someone else to come out and talk to them, a lot of times that's me, or they can buy there on the spot. That's what we've started this year. Our techs like it because they like being able to have a little bit more of a conversation with the homeowner. Our guys are out in the field. They're a lot of them aren't out there just to do the work and leave. They like to be able to talk about the trade that they know and love, right? Educate the homeowner. And then it also gives them the opportunity, if they do end up selling something, they do make a little bit of a commission on it and helps them make a little bit more cash on the background. So
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, we've always done so. We've just started the actual, sales guys, and we've never had that. And we realized that we got to a certain revenue point that we weren't going to go without it.
right.
So it's
No,
yeah, so it's gotten to the point where we definitely have to do that because myself and the owner, like Ryan, we're both very good at sales. We can go do it, but we can't be the ones to keep doing it. You know what I mean? And not trying to build the business at the same time. We can't be the one running the sales calls all the time. And we're the same way. I would say we're probably 80-20. Well, no, we're probably 90-10 too. There's some big jobs we take on in the slower season, but since we've grown, we don't really have to take those jobs anymore. So,
right.
Light
Well, and,
commercial is only if we have to.
Well, and that's the deal. You can't focus on your business if you're too busy in your business, right? You've got to be able to look back, step back, look what you're doing, and getting some good salespeople that are really driven and focused through networking and community events, all that kind of stuff. That's what's super important. That's what most of my job has been over the past few years, is really just being the networker, the chamber member, the face, the guy out there, making sure that everybody knows that we're there for them. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. And it's also good when you teach sales because like I tell the listeners a lot and it's, people think sales and they think it's a dirty word. So I always like to say technical and communication because sales is communication. It's how well you can communicate, transfer a belief, they say that all the time. And And we all have to be able to do it. Like I say, even in a technical experience, if you're a 10 out of 10 technician, but you're a 2 out of 10 communicator, well, guess what? That's probably not going to be an overall great experience for that customer. But you have a guy who's a 5 and a 5, they're going to think he did a better job because of the way he communicated, even though this guy can fix anything. He's the smartest guy we have at the company, but they don't know that. So I want them to realize that it's not, even if you go out, like you said, guys making some extra money and they offer options, it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, if done the right way, is a good positive thing for the industry. It's a good positive thing for techs to make, more income by helping serve their clients.
Well, and then your customer has a better taste in their mouth when they leave, right? Yeah, you may be, you've got the guy who's out there working everything, but how many of our customers really know what they're doing, right? I mean, they don't know. The air didn't work when the guy got there. It works when he leaves. So if you've got someone in there that has a really, kind of really just a nice personality, a very trusting person, your customer's gonna have a much better experience, and you get more referrals that way.
Yeah, and those people that want to buy from the techs, let them do it. Why take it away from them? The tech,
Absolutely.
they have their guard down. They like you said, they trust them. Maybe they've seen them before, and if they're willing to do it, by all means. But those people that have those tough questions and want the information, it's like, hey, that's a little above me. I'm not a sales guy. Why don't we go
Right.
ahead and have them come out and sit down with you and educate you on what you need to do? And that's what we've learned. They
Right.
can't be the same person. Some techs may
Right.
be really good at it, but as far as a law of averages, not all of them are going to be able to do it. It's just, it's not going to happen.
You're right.
Um, Sorry, that was just me,
No,
manager to owner, just
that's right.
yeah, asking that question for myself. I'm curious, but I'd really love to get into the other side of it. Obviously, we can talk anything about your business that you want to. I'm game for anything. But I'd love the other side of what you're gonna relaunch in October. As far as the trade jobs, exactly what that is, what it does, how it came about, the whole
Sure.
nitty gritty on that.
Sure. Well, let's get into it. So, as an owner or a general manager or somebody within, the position of hiring in the HVAC or in the trades companies, we see that turnover, right? And it's just like 98% of most, 98%. It's the number one problem for most contractors. It's finding and hiring guys, right? We're making the phone ring. We're spending money on marketing. We're doing all these things to drive sales, and then we don't have enough guys to do the work. We don't have enough gals to get out and do the trade that's that we're needing them to do. So it's obviously a problem, right? Hiring and retaining. So back in 2021, October 2021, my key guy comes to me. He's been with me since for the last 5 years. He started as a helper. He's worked his way up through install. He's worked his way into service. He's kind of my go-to for everything. Comes to me and says, "Hey man, my brother-in-laws are starting a construction company and they want a HVAC guy on the team. I think I'm going to have to take this job." And you're like, you know what? It's okay. I don't want you to leave, but we'll leave on, you shake hands, you leave on good terms. You don't ever burn that bridge. And off he went. And, you kind of sit down and gather yourself. And you're like, shit, what am I going to do now? How am I supposed to, you know, I've got service calls lined up, right? I've got stuff to do. And and we're small, right? Have like 9 guys. So losing a key player is a big part. So it took a few months to fill his role. It took several $1,000s on different job boards. It took me going and putting flyers up at every supply house. It took me stalking guys on Facebook. Anything I could try to come up with to get to fill this guy's shoes. And I finally hired a guy who was a little bit out of our area, but you kind of work with these people. And within 30 days, he had totaled the truck and was gone. And you're just kind of sitting there looking at yourself, and you're like, how did this even happen? How did I get here? Um, so you start asking questions, right? I'm one of those guys that I know what I know, but I also know what I don't. And I love to be able to say, hey, I know that. I'm happy to help you with it. Let's talk about it. Or I'm also happy to say, man, that's not my level of expertise. That's not where I shine, but I know a guy. So let's go talk to him. I kind of like to have that bubble of people. And I started asking other contractors. I started asking sales guys for, distributors. I started asking technicians, my guys, and I was like, "Hey, what is the like perfect hiring recruiting platform look like?" And this went on for several months, just asking questions and talking. And then comes spring, summer of 2022. Um, Excuse me, that was 2020 when all that started. Spring, summer of 2021, I kind of sit down with a business mentor of mine and we talk this out. And it's like, you know what? I think we can build something for this. I think we can do something to fix this because as people in the trades, right? We're in the trades to fix things. That's how
Yeah.
most of us got here. So find problem, find solution, let's fix it. So we started coming up with building the website, getting it all put together. In January, we had a great partner come on with us um, that is that's also sees this as an issue and decided to really give this a big push. So we actually launch in October. We're going to be at Service World Expo the whole first week of October, talking to people and kind of trying to drum up some buzz on this. But what we have created is and will be the go-to hiring and recruiting platform for the HVAC, plumbing, and electrical trades. So we're going to be hyper focused on our niche trades, and we are working to kind of revolutionize how people are hiring and retaining talent. Because I know whenever you talk to guys, well, where are you finding your people? Well, I'm posting on this website and this website, and I've got a flyer over here and all that. We're all scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
You may have your ad on Indeed, and the tech that you actually need has his stuff on ZipRecruiter, and they're never going to talk. You're never going to see back and forth. All of these things. So what we're trying to do is create a movement where everybody kind of comes together, saying, "Hey, we're all tradespeople. Let's fix this. Let's all come to the same place. Let's come to a central hub where we can build company profiles. We can post open jobs. Candidates can create their candidate profile, which builds their resume. It talks about their licensing and what they have, what requirements they would want to, or like what financial requirements they're looking for, and then it talks back and forth to each other, pulling information across. So, I mean, it's an easy idea. Creating something like this was a lot bigger and harder than I thought, right? I mean, like any dream, it takes more money and more time than you ever thought it would. But I'm super excited to say we are at the last stages of testing everything so that we can blow it open in October.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, because
Right.
that's one of those things you in your mind feel like, why hasn't somebody created that already?
Right.
It's always been a need, but that's awesome that you took the shot to do it because that would be amazing. That would solve so many issues because we just hired some people. A lot of times it's word of mouth, but that doesn't always work. I get lucky because of the podcast. People know me, so I can
Right.
do things that way. But not everybody has that. And there's still been some swing and misses. When you talk about a wrecked
Sure.
van, I got a wrecked van
Yeah.
just now getting fixed because the guy. Oh, I didn't see that Bobcat backing up. Bang.
Yep. Yep.
So that is amazing. I have a question here. When you say relaunch, did you put
Mhm.
this out for a little bit, like test, or
Yep.
what happened to bring it back?
So what I did, I did some beta testing here in the DFW market with it back in at the end of 2021. Worked with some of the different trade schools down here. Worked with some of the different some of the different companies, kind of seeing what platform would work best. We were trying to, or we always say we, me. I was trying to see if people preferred paying to post a job versus a subscription level. What were they looking for to make it seamless? What were they looking for um, on how it worked? So the biggest caveat that I want to work with this is I want people to get hired faster so we can get back to work quicker. That's it. This is a low cost solution to people getting hired faster and getting back to work because so many people, and all these guys, they listen to your show. They went from being the guy in the van to owning the companies, right? To owning their own business. They don't have time to spend hours trying to hire somebody, hours sifting through all the emailed resumes that they're going to get, of which 75 of those are unqualified for what they're actually needing. It just takes too long and it's too expensive. So I've created this low cost way of being able to weed out if you want to weed out the kind of the unlicensed people that you're not looking for, you can. For example, down here in Texas, we require it, and every state's different, but we require several different levels of licensing for HVAC, for electrical, things like that. So if I am looking to hire, I'm just going to use, I know it's an HVAC show, but the journeyman electrician level, there's so many of those guys. If I'm looking to hire a journeyman and I put that as a requirement in there, the only algorithm that will pull and the only people that can see it and apply are people that have active journeyman licenses in the state of Texas. That's it. So it's not the guy working at McDonald's that thinks he wants to learn how to be an electrician. It's not the guy who's not qualified. It weeds out the ones who don't fit. And that's kind of the get back to work faster side. I don't know about you, man. How many times have you posted that you're looking for a service technician and somebody applies that literally has no experience at all? Like their experience is that their house has air conditioning in it.
Yeah. I'll do whatever you want me to do, though.
Right. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, I'll learn anything, man. I'm way at this point. That's great. We bring in guys like that all the time, right? You've got those. That's how a lot of people learn these trades. I get it. But if I'm looking for someone specific and that someone needs to be able to get in a truck and start running service calls tomorrow, it's a waste of my time and a waste of yours.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's awesome. I love that it weeds out the bullshit that those kind of people can't get on there. Sorry, the uncensored part, I use foul language sometimes.
You're good.
But yeah, no, I love that because that happens too often. And the other part of it, guys coming out of trucks, they don't know how.
Right.
These guys were really good technicians. They don't know anything about being a business owner,
Right.
So they're learning as they go,
Sure.
and finding people has to be a small part, of what they're doing. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. I didn't know in Texas that you guys, because I didn't know until I did the podcast that there's only 18 out of 50 states that actually have licensing. Like in Maryland, you have to have apprentice, journeyman, master. So I have a master's license, a master HVAC, a gas fitter's license. Ryan, the owner, has got a master's in Maryland, Virginia, DC, Delaware. It's weird if you take Maryland doesn't reciprocate. So if you take DC, you don't even got to take the test. You can reciprocate to Virginia and Maryland. But if you take Maryland and you try to reciprocate, they're like, nope, you got to come take the test today. But I thought in Texas, unless it's a state thing or only parts, I thought that they just had to get a contractor's license and then you can pretty much start an HVAC company.
So yes, so you have to have your mechanical contracting license, right? You've got to be pass that test, get to that point as well. But they do have the other licenses, like all of my technicians have Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation certified technicians, right? They have registered themselves with the state as an HVAC technician, and they have those, and they're not expensive, but it's what we are doing and what the state is doing to regulate the industry. Yeah. So you've got those. We have to go through the Railroad Commission because we do a lot of propane gas down here. So we've got to go through that. If you're working on any type of propane thing, we have to have a license from the Railroad Commission on our team as well. So it's there. And then you go to some states where it's the Wild West. Cool, whatever you want to do. And then there are others, the further west you go, that make being a tradesman very, very hard. It's the more licensing, and they're going to nitpick everything you do, and it makes it very, very difficult nowadays to get into the trades in some of these states.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I know we have Pennsylvania that we border, and that's the Wild Wild West. There's no licensing. Yeah. I have a brother-in-law who owns a company, and this guy is a hack. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. And some of the people I saw running around, and I just, not to be negative, I feel bad for the consumers. I feel bad for the homeowners out there that don't know that they don't have those regulations to protect them, and a lot of them are going to get ripped off to find out. I feel like that should be there should be a national mandate minimal. I feel like we need to grow. I feel like Canada and other countries have us beat as far as the restrictions and the mandates. I think Canada I think Red Seal is more plumbing, but how they do their stuff, I think it's awesome. I wish we did more stuff like that. I know some people that don't have their license would hate it, but hey, that's either put up or shut up. It's time to do what you got to do.
A set of just national minimum standards, right, would be kind of nice. But I'm with you. I think you get those guys too in the states where there's not regulation like that, and it plays so unfavorably to the companies and the technicians that went ahead and do it, that do it the right way. They get whatever licensing, maybe in Maryland or whatever that is, and then you got the guy next door who he can charge so much cheaper because he didn't have to pay for any of that, didn't have to go through the schooling.
Yeah, no. And the guy that has the bumper to bumper warranty, when you don't see that bumper anymore, your warranty is gone. Um,
That's it.
so so how long has this so it's trade jobs, right? That's
Yep.
the
The company's
um
called Trade Jobs. We run the three major trades. It's obviously all web based. The website is gettradejobs.com. We've got our social media presence is going. We've got Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We've started a TikTok account because that's going to be a lot of what we use in the month of October. We are doing a giant giveaway contest in the month of October. So we're going to be doing giveaways throughout the month for people to sign up and become part of Trade Jobs because getting on there as a candidate, as a technician and creating your account is completely free. So what we're doing is we're doing 4 weeks of giveaways. We're going to give away prizes Monday through Friday every week in October. And then at the very end, we are going to November 3rd, I believe, that Wednesday, we're going to do a Facebook Live and give away a giant toolkit, tool pack
nice.
to somebody. Because we want to help try to spread the word. We're going to be doing that through our social media campaign. We're going to be doing an email campaign, all of that stuff. So you can find us in all those places. The biggest thing we have right now on the website is our coming soon page, where you can put your name, email address, and whether you are looking to hire or looking for a job. And we will basically announce when the revolution begins, is what we kind of call it. Join the revolution, and we will start announcing to everybody when the website goes completely live. And so that's how we're gathering information now, gathering candidate profiles.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. So I take it that, like me, the business, when we go to get on there, we pay for the service, like a monthly fee or something like that.
Yep. Yep, it's going to be a subscription service, a three-level subscription service. So that way, there's kind of something that fits everybody. And it's just basically, what are you wanting to use the website for? If you're wanting to post open jobs so people can apply, we've got you covered. If you're wanting to post open jobs, but maybe you're big enough that you're wanting to also go through and use our database to search for people that maybe aren't applying but meet your qualifications, you can do that as well. And then our top level pro will get all the access. It's the master level. Gets all the access, and then it also has the ability for you to be a Gold Star certified trade jobs contractor. Which once you sign up for that, somebody from our team calls. We go through a series of questions that we feel are important and what kind of like that best company looks like. So we would go through that. Once those questions are answered, you get a badge put up on your profile. It shows you as a Gold Star contractor for trade jobs, and it also allows some of your posts to stay at the top of the board. But we want to make sure that if I'm a technician, I'm out there working my tail off, and I have no desire to jump ship or move. But if the right opportunity came available, I'd look at it. We want to make sure that if they're looking for a company that is in the position maybe to provide benefits or a uniform service or some different things, that they know who those people are, and they are so that they know who they can apply for.
That's
Yep.
Yeah, no, I love that. So, and when we search, like it helps like weed out like it's only people like local in your area, like that kind of stuff. Because Indeed, I get like, I'm like, oh, this guy looks great. Fuck, he's not in the same state. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and you got to make sure that you're quick with it, because if you don't, you got to pay for those leads that weren't even good leads.
Right.
So it gets to be hectic that you got to be kind of watching that all the time. So I think that's I think that's awesome, man. Like that's a good thing that people know that this is the place to go for the trades, because I feel like those other ones are for other things. So is this strictly for technicians? Like, say somebody wants to hire CSRs or something.
So everything within you can be a technician and an apprentice helper, an installer. You could be front office management, anything like that, anything that you're looking to hire. So, and the other thing to remember too is this is Trade Jobs is available in the United States and Canada. It works
Nice.
in both places, because we want to make sure we do have a lot of friends. So to help promote and help get the word out, one of the things that we have done is we are working with partners throughout the trades industries, whether it be manufacturers, Service and Dispatch, flat rate software people, all these different companies that we are working with, that we are bringing on as partners, because they are also people who they are seeing their customers that are affected by this problem. And they're like, I want to help fix that too, right? It may not fall in my bucket of what I sell, but if I can help provide a solution to my customer base, I want to be a part of it. In fact, two of those companies that I've spoken with in the last 3 weeks are on your are advertisers on your show. So that's pretty cool. But we are
Nice.
reaching out with them. They're going to help us spread the word. They're going to help be champions for this. So we want to make sure that with bringing on some bigger players like that to help solve the problem, that we wanted to make sure that trade jobs not only worked in the 50 of the United States, to the 50 states in the United States, but also in Canada. So it works there. And then to go back to your point of getting people from somewhere else. One of the neat parts about it too is you can kind of set, there's the dial, the slider bar would help you set mileage, from your area that you're looking for. So that way it also does kind of weed out some of those people. And then there is also the option for people to apply that are looking to relocate. We have a lot of people right now moving to Texas, and it just is what it is. So we have the option on there to whenever they build their candidate profile to let an employer know that they are willing to speak to them if and then relocate if that's an option.
That's awesome. I love this, man. So where like so I guess I want to go back a little bit. So are you doing this like with your business partner in the company? Did you go off by yourself? And like we talked about before, a lot of us know that this is a need, but what in your mind was like, we're going to be the ones to make this happen? Like what series of events made you actually, let's go do this damn thing?
Sure. So yes, this is me on my own. It was. It's not now. I've got partners in it now, but it started. It was losing that key guy, and I've always been kind of a side hustle guy. I think a lot of people are. So whenever I was a high school teacher, I also had a real estate license, so I could sell on the weekends. I've started two other kind of side local businesses that were, one was affected whenever people down here were affected by the drought. We did some water hauling and some other things, but this is the one that that guy left. I'm listening to another podcast, and it's all about entrepreneurs and basically tech startup companies, and the subject goes to job boards, and it's like job boards are a great way to make some extra money. It helps your industry. And then I started looking into some very specific things that affect the area of I am, because where we are in Texas, and you guys up there too, we have a lot of oil and natural gas production. So a lot
Yeah.
of people down here are in that industry. And there are some very specific job boards for those guys. Like those guys aren't going to the big players, right? They're going to where they know there's jobs for them where they're supposed to be. So again, that's whenever the idea started. You start bouncing ideas off other people. I sat down with a business mentor, through a great program, where it's a kind of a free program provided through the Small Business Administration in the local universities. So I met with this guy. We put a plan together, and dude, I'll tell you the honest truth. I thought I can build this thing pretty cheap, and it's going to be mailbox money, and I'm going to retire. And this is awesome. Farthest thing from the truth, right? Never worked how it's supposed to. I get it built. It costs 3 times what I think it should cost to build it. I launch it, and I'm trying to hustle this thing while running my side of the HVAC company. My side has always been the sales, marketing, networking side. My business partner has always been like general management, vendor management, finances. That's kind of his thing. So I'm out there hustling two things with a wife and kids at home, trying to be the best dad and husband I can be with it, and realizing very quickly this is not going to be that easy mailbox money check that I thought it was going to be. So that's whenever I pulled it offline, kind of reevaluated what I did, and started reaching out to people in the trades industries on the software side that I was like, hey, these people have already built something that's successful within our industry, within the software side, that have potential clients at hand. This could be a bolt-on for somebody else, right? Super easy.
Yeah.
So in those conversations, I was able to meet with a great group out of Georgia. They came on. We started talks several months ago. They came on as full-fledged partners August 1st, and it is full steam ahead. We are going to tackle this problem. We are going to get rid of this problem. We're going to, create the best solution so that our customers, their customers, all the people that we know in the trades that are affected can. This shouldn't be a thing anymore, right? There's too many jobs. There's too many people looking for work. I mean, we should be able to not have to spend so much money, time, and effort just to get people to come to work. So that's what we're
Yeah,
looking to do.
that's awesome, man. And I truly think that maybe it didn't turn out to be the mailbox money that you thought, but I think that
Right.
this could definitely be huge for you though, because you know, just think sales, is there a need? 100%. So now it's
Right.
the delivering part. And if that can happen, I mean, this thing can definitely blow up. I love this idea. I mean, even if it gets to be like a website and like an app, I can be
Yep.
talking to somebody and click and be like, "Oh man, I got 2 applicants today. Like this is awesome. We might
Right.
have that spot filled." Like the convenience. Nowadays we pay for convenience. That's why Amazon is so huge. We order something, we get
Yep.
it the next morning in 2 days. And
Yep.
if we can help simplify for one and to be able just to find good candidates in general, that's one problem. And then be able to find them
Yep.
relatively quickly with ease, that's a game changer. I mean, that really is.
It's It is, and it's for you and I, especially as kind of management and the guys that are having to find those guys doing the hirings, right? Game changer there. The other part is if I am a technician in the field, and let's be honest, the working for the same company for 42 years, retiring with a gold watch and a pension, that's gone. That doesn't work anymore. No one's
Yep.
doing that, right? So if I'm, and I just kind of use my own area, if I'm working here in the DFW area and I'm at a company that I enjoy, right? Boss is taking care of me, money's pretty good, but I can create a resume on there that basically says this would be my ideal job. My ideal job makes $10 more an hour. It's a little bit closer to home, and maybe it offers a 401k, or maybe it offers some health insurance that I'm currently unable to get because I'm at a small employer. Right? That's it. And then all of a sudden one day that email goes off because the business down the road for me just put on that they are hiring. What they put in meets my qualifications, and all I got to do is click a button to apply. I'm sitting there on a job site working on it. Boop, hit it, and it goes off and applies for me. And the next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call for an interview.
Yeah, no, I
It's
that's awesome. I,
game
I
changer.
love that side of it too because I do think that exactly what you said. Some guys out there and girls, ladies coming in that
Absolutely.
work in these companies, and a lot of people, they don't want to be those hoppers. They're loyal to a fault. They work for a company. It's all they know. They don't know what
Mhm.
else is out there. This way they can put feelers out, and hey, it's not that I'm necessarily looking, but then again, I'm not looking. Opportunities come in all shapes and sizes, and
Right.
and maybe I feel like more shops are coming out nowadays because of social media that with better cultures, people actually give a damn about their employees and really do all the little things to make it worth working someplace. And I think those places are going to be easier to find now. It's not going to be, you have to get lucky and happen to meet them, or somebody says, "Oh, you should come work with my company. They're awesome." It's going
Right.
to make those kind of things more possible or easy.
Well,
Yeah, more possible. I think that sounds.
easier to access, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. And every even those techs that are loyal to a default, they're loyal to yes, but everything's for sale, right? So if they're for the right dollar amount, they'll move. And the biggest thing that kind of wraps around this, it's the funny part is the guy that left me, key guy, didn't burn a bridge, did it in a respectful way. I understood why he needed to do it. Phone rings a few months later. Hey man, uh, didn't work out. I'm like, you want to come back? Yeah, I want to come back. Come on, start Monday. And he's still with me today. He's my head construction manager, um, back in the game. And, that's a testament to if you do leave, always leave on good terms because you never know when you're going to have to go back. You never know when you're going to cross paths again. Um, and I don't know, and I would bet you do this when someone applies to my company, my HVAC company, and I hire them. I require them to give their current employer a 2 week notice.
Yep.
If the employer tells them to pound sand, come on, I got you. We'll get you fitted. Your uniform shows up next week. Let's roll. But if I have a guy that says, no way, man, that guy screwed me over. He's a jerk. I'm going to go in there and, tell him how it is and I'm leaving. I'm like, then you don't get this job either, buddy. So see ya. I don't play those games. You got to treat people right.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. We do the same thing. We tell them, hey, give your 2 weeks, don't burn any bridges. And the same thing, if they tell you to leave, then, or, or they stop giving you hours or something, by all means, come over, we'll make it work. Um, but, and the other side of that is I feel like too many companies are assholes and don't let the people work out 2 weeks. Like,
I know.
be an adult in this situation.
Yeah.
Um, but and the other thing about, one thing that we do when people come over is we kind of make it overwhelming in a positive way rather than just put guys in a truck and throw them in. It's kind of standard where it's kind of training to get them to adapt in to how we do things, meet different guys, sit in meetings, go through
Yep.
trainings. They go out to lunch with myself or the owner, like try to do little things to be like, we appreciate you. You're here. We're different. We're not like the fucking other guys. And
That's
we're
right.
not just going to say that, we're going to show you. So so far so good. I mean, so far so good, but there's always ways to get better. You know what I mean? There's no company out there is perfect, and a good culture here. Just because you have different cultures doesn't mean they do the same thing. Culture is kind
Right.
of its own individual thing. The people make the culture. And all the
They do.
personalities are different.
They do. That's one of the things my business partner and I try to do every year. Is we kind of look for you and your the owner of your company probably do the same. It's like, okay, we try to do something every year to make us like something bigger every year to make us better, right? One year, a few years ago, it was like, okay, we are going away from the t-shirts and things that we provide. We're going to go to a full uniform service. The next year, the goal was to wrap every van, right? So we wrapped every van that year. And then one of the things we did this year was it was more of a focus on our team members. And it was at our we do team meetings every 2 weeks, especially in the summer. It's too hot, too busy to do them every week, but we do them every 2 weeks. That's how we choose to do it. And we end every meeting with something, guys giving them the opportunity. We how do I say this? We talk to them throughout the weeks to find out something that's hopefully good going on in their lives, like their kid graduated from high school, one of them had a grandkid, all these things. And we end every meeting like that with a card from office staff to them. It's going to have a gift card in it to, something either a Home Depot or an Amazon, something that shows that they're valued more than just that you listened when they said that little Johnny graduated from high school last week and you're super proud of it. You know what I mean? Those types of things. So it's culture, and every culture is different. Like you're exactly right. But I think as long as you're focused on creating positivity and taking care of your people, it takes care of itself.
Yeah, just, showing that they're not a number. If you ever work for a big company, and you call into HR and, a lot of times I was the only Gil, but you call in and the person could know me and they're like, well, what's your employee identification
Yeah.
number? Like, what?
Right. Last or your social, please. It's like, no, you know who I am.
Yeah, and creating that, we're showing they're important, and all of us have grinded up in the trades, missing birthdays, ball games, cookouts, whatever it is, and yes, we have to work, but when you let them to be able to go to those functions, like, hey, I want you to go to your son's ball game, man. Like it's Friday, I got you, man.
Mhm.
I'll make sure you're off in time. Go to that game. Let me know who won. You know what I mean? Like
Yep. Yeah.
those people will never leave you.
Mhm.
You don't have to worry about them. I've said it a million times, everybody in the chat's probably heard me say it a million times is, they're at a gas station and another manager comes up and says, hey man, I'll give you $2 more an hour. I know my guys are going to be like, go F yourself, man. Like
That's
I'm
right.
good.
No.
You, you
Yeah.
know,
I'm good.
a
Hmm.
lot of times I always say they don't always leave for money, it's for opportunity. And if they know the opportunity is with you, then a lot of times you're good. It's easier said than done sometimes because inflation goes up. People don't realize, like, we know they're feeling it. Like, $100,000, or let's just say $35 an hour isn't what it used to be 5 years ago.
No.
It's not going as long. And, as somebody who runs a business, and Ryan always says, like, we want to give everybody a cost of living raise, but, the business it takes a hit on that too. We're paying more for goods and services, for gas, for parts,
Mhm.
whatever equipment, whatever it is. But you try to be honest and tell them, and then when you can, you do those kind of things. And maybe it's not as much you would like, but something's better than nothing. And just being transparent with people, man. I used to hate working for places that, you know, you never knew what was going on, and that creates a negative vision because you think the owner's just sitting back counting his money. When
Yeah.
95% of the time, that's not the case.
No, no, and it makes you nervous, right? Because whenever you don't know what's going on, it's kind of that fear of the unknown. Is he
Mhm.
back there, playing Scrooge McDuck, swimming in his penny pot, or is he somewhere else looking for a job, right? Because he knows this thing's getting ready to go under. So transparency is huge.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's awesome, man. I mean, we're getting almost towards 9:15, man. And Jeff, I gotta say, I love that idea, man. If I can help you promote that in any way, and when it goes live, I will get us
Yep.
on it first and foremost because I think this is an awesome idea. And especially it's fresh in my mind because I said, we're having expansive growth. We put a plan together. We figured that we want to be here, and then we kind of, backwards went backwards to
Hmm.
kind of build, what we need to do to get there. And so we had to hire some people. And the process, like normally you think training and bringing them in is going to be the tasking part of it, but that's been fun and easy. It's been the finding them and checking Indeed. Oh, make sure I don't get charged for this one because that one sucked. And
Right.
finding them, it sucked. I hated it. And when it was
Nightmare,
done,
dude.
yeah, when it was done, I was thank the good Lord. I mean, I'm already bald. I can't lose any more hair. But it sucked. I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. And if there's a way to make
Yep.
that easier, better applicants, at my fingertips, I, sign me up. You know what I mean? Like
The,
I'm down.
Yep, join the revolution. That's what we're doing. And the only thing that we really need from your listeners at this point is jumping on there, following our social media stuff, going to the homepage, that gettradejobs.com, put your name and email address in there so we can contact you, so when it's live. And kind of one of the things we're talking with a lot of these distributors and stuff is we need a couple of things from you. We want your feedback. We want to know what you like, what you don't like, because we're creating the best animal for you. But also, we're asking for a little bit of grace as we build it. That's all it takes. And we're going to start making this thing and make it the perfect product for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put that in there. You said it's Get Trades, right?
GET, and then gettradejobs.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put this link in the chat now. Rookie, my lead moderator is gone. He normally does this because I always mess these up. So, I don't think that's gonna work. I think I messed it up. Rookie's not here. I miss you, Rookie. But gettrades.com. You guys
Yep,
know how to go in the
gettradejobs.com. You can do it.
know how to get on the internet. That's funny. I'm curious. I'd love to know off air. I think I know the two companies that you're talking about. But I'd love to know, off if you don't have to say it on air, off air, the
Yeah,
two companies, because I'm pretty sure I know they are.
you
And
got
that's
it.
amazing. They're both amazing,
Yeah.
amazing companies. That's one thing that's good, man. All the sponsors that I have on here have been for several years, and I've always said that if I can't, I love working with amazing companies, and I can say all the ones I deal with are amazing from the top down. They're just awesome people,
Yep.
and I've always said that if I can't say something nice about them for free, I'm not going to do it paid. um,
Oh, I
and
agree. Yeah.
yeah, and these ones are all like amazing. So to hear you say that just kind of warms my heart because I know that they're awesome people, and the fact that they're doing that with you is not surprising at all.
Yep. There you go. Just trying to
So,
fix it, man. All we're doing is trying to help.
yeah, that is awesome. So, everybody in the chat, we only have a couple of minutes left. If any of you have any questions for Jeff, if you want to close us out with a few questions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to ask those questions. If you do have a questions, please put it in all caps, and I'll do that. It is no, it is get trades or trade.
Trade. Gettradejobs.com.
Okay, so I did that wrong here. So let me do this. It's not going to be a link, but just so you guys see it. Um, there we go. That one. So gettradejobs.com. So my fault. I put an S on the end. That was my bad.
You're good.
Yes.
You're good.
Thank you, Jason. So if any of you have any questions, please put it in all caps. Be more than happy to ask those real fast. All of you out there, I know a bunch of you personally, so I know some of you are owners or you work for places that you're really, really happy where you work. But if God forbid you're not, when something like this pops up, just see what's out there. Just because it doesn't mean you got to take it, but see what's out there. And another thing I'll touch on real fast is I know a lot of techs that have been scared to do that because if they're like, oh, if my boss sees my ad on
Hmm.
Indeed, he's going to be like, hey, man, what the hell are you doing? Blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah. Um,
Yep.
but I get it. So, me, if I see that, I don't get mad. I meet with them like, hey, what's wrong, man? Like, are we not doing
Yeah.
something? And most of them will
Yeah.
say, like, it's been out there forever, like, or I
Yep.
just see what pops up. But sometimes it's good to know. Sometimes you find out, hey, maybe somebody's not as happy as you thought they were.
Exactly. It's that, or maybe they're on there and honestly they are just completely butthurt over the most minute thing that you can be like, well, we gave Billy the new van because he's been here longer. Do you need a new van? Do we need to, see if Billy will give you the new? I mean, maybe it's something easy as that, or maybe it's something as just he wants to be recognized or noticed. And I'm with you, man. If it's out there, it's not a bad thing. It's a conversation, and then it just goes from there.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. And sometimes as an owner or a manager, sometimes, you know, even when like us, I think we have a good culture, but sometimes guess what? Things aren't kumbaya as you think. And
Yep.
what you almost take it personal, like, like what do you mean he's upset? Like, how could he
Hmm.
be upset? And sometimes it's, man, like I didn't do my job. I need to fix this. Especially if it's a guy, it's like I can't lose him. Like he's a valuable,
Right.
integral piece here. Like I need to make this right. So um, I say that not to go in this roundabout circle, but for all of you out there, don't be afraid of that. If God forbid your
Right.
boss comes and if your boss says, maybe you should just leave or he's an ass like that, then you probably should have left anyway, to be honest with you. That's
Right.
not a
Yeah.
that's not a decent boss.
No.
So don't let that deter you. Just see what's out there. You know, something might pop up that might be life changing. And I say this when I got the offer from Beltway to come do what I'm doing, I wasn't looking. I was at a place I'd been there for 12 years. I was loyal to a fault. I was good at what I did there. I was making good money. But I felt like there was nowhere to go. You know, I was betting my future on a handshake. Oh, you're gonna get this place when I'm done, and oh, awesome, man! Like that's can't wait. Blah blah blah. Um, and this just showed up. Granted, it wasn't an app. I wish this was there when I was thinking about this. But by me making that decision has been life changing and changed my life in such a positive way. So, not telling you guys to jump ship, but keep your options open and definitely support and check this out because even if you don't need it, support it so that our fellow brothers and sisters in the industry are going to have this option in the future. That's one way
That's
to support
huge.
it right there.
That's huge for me, man. Thank you so much. I
Yeah, of
appreciate that.
course. Yes. Jeff, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you. I think it's awesome. I think that people in the trades make some of the best gadgets and tools. And I think some of the best owners and stuff like that come up with some of the best services because we know what the industry needs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we do it
Sure.
every day. So I think I'm so happy that you took the risk, um, you know, physically, mentally, financially to do this because I think it's going to be absolutely awesome and a true game changer for the industry. So kudos to you, my man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, of course, man. I'm going to go ahead and close this thing out. Uh guys, man, thank you guys for being here. That is awesome. Like it really is. And to be honest, I've never met Jeff before. I'm so glad that I got to meet him. But when this show got booked and I was looking at it and I was like, man, if this is what I think it is, like this is gonna be, freaking awesome. And that's exactly what I thought it is. All of you guys out there, if you've ever had to apply for a job and, go through that painstaking process, or you've been on the management side and had to try to find somebody to look for a job, Zeke, man, if you got to try to find somebody to fill a position, it sucks. So now to have something like this, I am super pumped for this. I can't wait for this to be launched to check it out. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. And I think that you all should check it out too. Remember, if you don't need it, still support it. It's going to help build the trade of quality people finding quality jobs. And you can help support it in that way, even if you don't need it yourself. I want to thank all of you for coming to the show tonight. I really, really appreciate you. Audio podcast has been hit and miss here lately. Been a lot of stuff going on. Won't make excuses. Gonna get that out there. And I've been waiting for the BLUON that veto bag to give away. It's going to go out soon. I've been trying to do a few things before I did it, but it will be coming soon. Awesome, Zeke. Good for you, my man. But yes, that's pretty much everything coming up with me in a nutshell. Hope all you guys are doing great out there. I've had an amazing week so far. You're staying safe. Families are good. And God has blessed you in any way he could this week and does too and continues to do that in the future. So make sure you follow me on all social media sites. I appreciate it. Make sure that you leave a review wherever you get your audio podcast. It really helps the show grow. Remember, you can go to my website, www.hvacuncensored.com. There's merch on there. I'm trying to make some of that stuff a little bit better. But I know a lot of you didn't even know that you can get HVAC Uncensored merch on my website, and you can get to everything the podcast has to offer, whether it's audio podcasts, video podcasts, all the different websites. All that stuff is going to be on there for you. I think that's about it. Guys, remember, be safe out there. We all have somebody to make it home to. Make it home the same way you left. I always say this. I don't care if it's your best friend and he says, hey, man, that breaker's off. Check it. Make sure. Maybe he turned the wrong one off. Don't go grabbing it, zapping yourself, and doing something stupid. When you're driving, keep your head on a swivel. People are crazy out there nowadays. All right? Please, please be safe. The other thing is, guys, do the little things. Keep making yourself better. Be better than the next guy or girl. All right? Give back to the trade. If you are smart and you're good at what you do, give back. Help somebody. Pass your legacy on to a younger tech that you can teach and help them be better. All right? Keep learning. Podcast, books, online courses, whatever it may be. Some books that I read, and Ryan is the one who's got me to read, they're not even HVAC books. They're books about different things, but they have helped me so much, and I've never been a huge reader of books. They've helped me so much. It's been amazing. I challenge you guys to do that yourself. Like I always say, nowadays saying I don't know doesn't cut it. If you don't know, it's because you don't want to know, because there's so much information at our fingertips. If you want to find out, you can find out. All right. Challenge yourself. Keep being better. All right. With that being said, I love you, mofos. I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe. And until next week, I'll talk to you later. See you.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
Good night, everybody.